writing new songs made to express my views.
How are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. Oh boy, it's man, these things just keep flying by for me. It's I'm constant, and even this one we're recording it a day later than we normally do,
and it still just doesn't feel like. Yeah,
it's like, man, I really need to be able to do this full time. So, people, universe, whoever can afford, you want us, Jared Kiso, Jacob Tierney.
Anybody out there want to be my sugar daddy?
That's a different podcast than this. Maybe it's a side podcast. Anyway, so yeah, if you want us to be the official podcast of Letterkenny, we would fucking love it.
Oh my God.
And
shit, yeah.
So
because apparently y'all listen to us now, or every once in a while anyway.
I will sell my children. Well, I can sell one.
You can sell one of them. Yeah. The other one isn't, like, she's too old to be sold now. Like, they won't buy her.
So yeah, I mean, so a few things we went over between last episode and this episode. We hit 15,000 downloads overall. Then we hit 16,000 downloads overall.
Wow.
We are at over 2,000 followers. I think it's 2,050 something on the Facebook page, and we just this week hit 1,800. Did I say? Yeah, 1,800 followers on the group. Mm-hmm. We're getting close to 900 on Twitter, and I haven't been paying very close enough attention to Instagram and Tumblr, but every day there's more. So there's constant growth. I mean, I looked at our growth from last month, or the last 30 days to the most recent 30 days. And there's been like 100 and, what was it? I think I left it up on the screen. Let me see what it was. Yeah. 122.6% growth. And, in just from the last 30 days.
Wow.
So, and that's where that is. So, and also we've got the How Are You Now pod.com page up and running. It's got our email. So we have email addresses, Dean_Giles at howareyounowpod.com, Tiara_Walker at howareyounowpod.com. Or if you want to email us both because you're into that, we are at host at howareyounowpod.com. It's got links to our merch. We've got the cosplay contest, which is going on every month. And we have to, and I think we'll have to do this while we're on the show.
Oh yeah,
because I have 3 pictures. I wouldn't know if I'll let you decide if one of them is a cosplay or not.
Okay.
But I think we'll get to that at the end, so that we will have a surprise at the end. So how's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
So also today, our music for this week is another Canadian band, and is a good friend of mine from back in on Podskier from the podcast Super Fun Time Trivia.
Oh yeah.
Cole Fournier has a band called White Coals. And Cole is out of Toronto, the Toronto area. He actually out of North Bay, Ontario.
It's a good day for North Bay.
But he travels all over. And he's trying to procure me some puppers surreptitiously. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, so the band White Coals is our musical guest on this episode. And then also from Canada, and the first Manitoban I think I've ever met is Bobby Bouhet from JB's Memes and Stuff, who makes some awesome memes. If you haven't seen them, he's on Instagram and stuff. Bobby, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad.
Good job. You didn't screw it up.
Very excited. Very excited to be on your show today.
We're excited to have you, man. So tell us, number one.
This is going to be fun.
Tell us, because you've been up there. You've had more experience with the Letterkenny. So tell us, number one, how you came across Letterkenny and how that worked out for you. And then how you came across our show and how you got into that and kept listening to us being weird and silly all the time.
Like you're saying that I got more into it because I live up in Canada, but I feel like that you're incorrect. I only discovered Letterkenny last October or November. Friends talk to you about it, or you hear about it like through people, and it's always like, oh, you gotta check out this show, and like everyone says that you gotta watch this show. It's like, well, I gotta watch fucking 15,000 shows. Like, settle down here, good buddy. And I think I had seen like years ago possible YouTube clips when they were first running their little almost like cold opens and little like stand skits, and you watch them. Hey, that's pretty fucking neat, and then you just it goes into like the next thing of YouTube videos or whatever, and you think it's just like that's all there is to it. And then a buddy of mine, who is technically part of JB's memes and stuff. He's the stuff of JB's memes.
You always got to have your stuff and your things sometimes.
True.
Like JB's memes and stuff is technically Jeff, Bob, and the stuff, and like technically my friend Cody is the stuff. They're busy dudes, like, and I do 95% of everything basically, but it's just like we started this last summer, and it's our thing.
Hey,
basically Cody though, who is the stuff. He was telling me last October or November, he's like, hey, you got to watch Letterkenny. He's like, I was putting it off, blah, 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 but I started watching it. He's like, you're going to fucking dig this show. So me and Brianne, my girlfriend, we got Crave TV. Fuck. We got a free one month trial.
Nice.
And basically at that point, because I know you guys in the States on Hulu only had the first 4 seasons last fall, I believe.
2 seasons, actually, I think is what it was.
It started.
2 seasons?
It was 2
When
seasons.
we discovered it, there were
Yeah.
2 seasons on
Right.
Hulu, and then 2 more landed
Yeah.
shortly after we discovered it.
Possibly, yeah. Because,
And that's when
Yeah,
our
so
friends started
base-
getting into
yeah.
it.
Yeah, right. So basically, you put it on there, and it's one of those shows there. You can put it on. This is fucking pretty decent, like, and you're fucking on your phone, no texting and stuff while you're watching it. And it was, I think you do it with almost like every show until you like fucking get really into it. But no, we fucking ended up binging it in about 2 weeks, I believe. And then we were like, well, fuck, we need more episodes, and we were like waiting basically till Christmas Day to watch Letterkenny. And Christmas Day, we had our newborn last spring, and this year on Christmas, we were like, fuck family, we are doing our own thing, and staying home, and starting our own family thing, like doing our own thing. Christmas Day will be our thing at home, and never mind this driving around to 6 different houses kind of thing, right?
Seriously.
So
I'm glad we only have one house.
we had
to go
Me
to.
too. But everyone goes
So-
to that one house.
right? Exactly. So we do, or that's how it should be, right? Just one house, one family. We open presents and fucking watch Letterkenny season
Excellent.
6.
Yeah, for us it was a couple days
And,
after Christmas, so we didn't do our normal tradition this year. Speaking of Christmas,
No, we didn't.
we didn't. There was no Doctor Who on Christmas, and we didn't watch Die Hard either.
And we didn't go to a movie.
And we didn't go to a movie, a nighttime movie that nobody got. Wow, man, this last Christmas was sad. Let's do different this year.
Got to sort it out.
Are the theaters open there as well?
Oh,
on-
yeah.
on Christmas Day. in the States?
Usually in the evening
Yeah.
time, not usually during the day.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's the same here. They open after like
Yeah.
a certain hour there, and it's. I think it's the same thing here. A tradition for people to go watch a flick or whatever.
Yeah. And that and either Chinese or Indian food. Because we've done that. We've
Yeah,
done
I've
that
done
before.
both of those. Yes, the only restaurants open in the city of Seattle usually are like teriyaki or Indian.
True.
Okay. See, and my little town, like, I live in a town of about 5,000, which is kind of fun for like.
Tell me what their
referencing
problems are.
Letterkenny and. Well, the fun thing is, I live in a town of about 5,000. That's a Mennonite town,
Oh, gosh.
also, right? So just picture a bunch of dicks running around.
Their dicks, the dicks slip out all the time, man.
The dicks are slipping out everywhere. We have a town of 5,000, and we got like fucking 10 churches here, and our hardware store. This is no joke. It's called Dick and Sons. Not even a joke.
Oh God, that hurt. It was beautiful, but that hurt.
It'd be funny if it was Dick Skin and Sons.
No.
So how did you find us?
I found you guys, and you know what? I figured you'd ask me that, and I was
Trying to remember. You just
I was
crawled into my
trying to
ear
remember.
holes one day.
I'm pretty sure I followed you on Instagram, and I sent you a message on Instagram. So I just started using Instagram about 4 months ago, maybe, with the JB's memes page, and I kind of like Instagram more than Facebook, to be honest. There's a lot less bullshit on there.
True.
It's just people sharing fucking
Pictures.
good times for the most part, and pictures and videos, and That's a fun part too. But following the cast, like Jay Burton and stuff, you follow Jay Burton, you check his fucking watch his story there. It's fucking great. Like he's just fucking partying with beautiful people. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're one of those, 2% body fat guys, and you're when you're in your
Nobody in this house.
He's probably what, 27 years old is my guess. I don't
even know.
I saw that picture of them. I think he was standing on a boat and he was holding a chicken. I'm like, look, there's JB. Look,
yes.
There's Tyler, fucking Jay Burton with his cock out. I would have said that, but I haven't had any interactions with him as of yet. I have, like I have with some of the other casts, like Tyler Johnston as specifically, him, Evan Stern. There's been some back and forth with some stuff, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable enough to make that kind of joke with him at this point.
I've actually chatted with Jay Bird.
Oh, yeah?
Very, very minimal, but super cool, like super nice guy. He basically commented on one of my memes and corrected it. I misspelt it or I did something wrong there. I can't remember. It was something I had researched and I checked the fucking captioning and everything. And apparently I was, no, it's like, trust me, it's not this, it's this. And then he had wrote that on my meme, right? And I messaged him basically saying, hey, blah blah, thanks, blah blah. And I had checked like what do you call it? Not credits, but like script sites and stuff. He's like, oh fuck script sites. He's like, it's like they don't even know, like they just kind of guess.
The script site is not even a script site because I use that. It's the only place to find that is it's basically a hard copy of the closed captioning. That's all it is. So
and the closed captioning isn't always right.
Correct. Like even in this one,
this episode was really bad for closed captioning, and I felt like, oh man, just turn it off. I guess like this is a fucking joke.
And the only reason I really turned that on is when the
it's
hockey,
because I need it.
Well, not only that, but the hockey players when they really get it's you kind of have to have that so you can pick up on those things because they really rifle through their lingo fast. So it's, I mean, for us down here, it's not only the accent, but it's also the like the hockey lingo. And early on with even with the Hicks, there's the Hick lingo from up there that we're not familiar with. So it's, I think we've gotten attuned to that so far.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah. But the hockey players still talk fast when they're going back and forth, like them and Dax and Ron. Wow. That's a whole.
Yeah, you have to almost like do fucking a repeat there, eh? Like
Totally.
when you're watching a scene with all of them.
Totally. Oh man.
Like how's my Manitoba? How's my Toba accent?
It doesn't sound much different from what I've heard from. I would say not much different from an Albertan. So
okay,
he's only met a few people from Alberta, and then my family who's all BC. So
yeah. So I mean. Like my
sister's got a pretty strong accent
she
for
does,
being BC.
but it doesn't sound
not quite.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's different. She's also got. I'm sure a lot of hers is mixed because of her job.
Oh yeah,
she's having to go across the country. Her sister is a train conductor.
Yeah.
So engineer.
Holy fuck!
So she is going across the country. So yeah, her accent and are they married?
They are now, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's
she and her
name?
husband.
His accent is different from hers, even.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, she grew up in BC. I can't remember exactly where he grew up, but it was not in BC.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like when I listen
not going to bring out all the family
stuff. As an example, so the accent, I think I've gotten used to listening to an Ontario general overall accent because of Letterkenny, because of Cole. And
Super
Cole
Fun
and
Time
Kevin
Trivia.
from Super Fun Time Trivia
And Degrassi.
I've never watched Degrassi.
I did 100%.
So those voices I've gotten used to, and I think I pick up on those. My ex's family and friends are from Calgary, Edmonton area. As well as the guys from Two Guys on Friday are from I think they're Calgary, I believe.
It's Calgary or Edmonton. I'm pretty sure Calgary. Yeah.
So I'm used to hearing those accents, and I think I can kind of tell them apart. So yeah, yours is. I mean, because I think that accent is not quite so. There's an accent to it, but it's easily understandable. I guess I'll put it that way. Does that make?
If I get pretty drunk though, and I get pretty hyper there, people will say, "Hey, are you a fucking newbie or what?"
Now that accent I've heard, and that's what. If they'd have shot Letterkenny,
Oh Jesus!
oh boy,
I would never have gotten into it because I can't process that so fast.
that's a lot. Thank God it's not, and it's not.
It's like watching Outlander, where I'm like, I can't. What did he just say? Can we watch that again and again and again?
A drunk Scotsman. Yeah, drunk Scotsman from Glasgow.
Yeah.
Wow, that
A Glaswegian.
wow. That's a trippy one. It's I'm like you're like I know you're saying words, but they don't sound like any words that I've ever. Yeah, Welsh.
A drunk Welshman.
Yeah. So yeah.
I've had online gamer friends that like one was from Scotland and he was like I don't want to say like what's the word, like he was almost like I don't know, like white trash Scottish, drinking there and he's playing games. He's like I don't know, but holy fuck, he just like like what the fuck are you saying, buddy? Yep. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, a lot of those, because Glasgow is like a big mining community, very blue collar city. It's kind of like Detroit, in a way, but it's got
before Detroit died.
Yeah, and it's got nicer. It's got nicer buildings, but
now, I mean, Detroit had really nice buildings at one time.
Glasgow has had nice buildings for hundreds of years.
That is true. That is true.
Anyway, so
and back to the reason for being here.
Let's talk about Letterkenny. How about that?
If we must,
I think we should.
What can I say one more thing before we do that? Like, my parents were down here 2 weeks ago, and then they were talking about my stepdad is in his 60s now, and his brother and his wife, they started watching Letterkenny and they love it. And they were having, I guess they were having breakfast with them that day, and they basically were chatting about Letterkenny, and they were telling me how I'm fucking into it and I make memes and all that bullshit, and they're like in their early 60s, late 50s, I'm not sure, but they fucking love Letterkenny. I'm like, fuck, see, the age scale just like expanded in my head. Like it goes from like early to mid-teens all the way to people in their 60s, which is really cool, I think.
Definitely.
Probably even farther than that. I think
even further. Yeah, who knows?
Hey, Facebook and Twitter people.
It's funny. I think the reason I can understand Canadian accent so well is I think there's a lot of Scottish folks who helped get Canada started. Oh, yeah. And I think the English, when they came over there, were happy to have the Scottish gone. So it's Scottish and Irish that are there that really founded the country.
And
so
a lot of English.
Well, no, it was English because it was a fucking colony. But,
I know.
But they were happy to get the Irish and the Scottish to come over.
And a lot of French too, depending on where.
Quebec.
I'm not even just talking about Quebec. I mean, like my family lineage in BC is almost entirely French.
Yeah.
Until there's like little bits here and there of other things, but almost entirely French and Canadian in BC. Not a single French Canadian among them. and until we go back many, many generations. Anyway,
and then just one more thing, because and then just one more thing, because you said I sounded maybe like Albertans, and I'm fine with that because I have family in Alberta. But I'm very thankful you didn't say I sound like a Saskatchewan, because that would be fucking embarrassing.
Saskatoon.
Oh my!
That's our neighboring rivals there. Go Bombers!
All right, so Letterkenny,
season 4, episode 4.
Right, but last episode was episode 3. Way to a Man's Heart. So a quick recap on that was basically
through his ribcage,
through his prostate. No, wait, that's squarely Way to a Dan's Heart.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So basically, it was all about Tanis and Axe and Slash and Shyla and Shania. And what did you think?
You said it correctly the first time.
Of course I did.
You've been practicing.
I'm moist. So, and
We're like the Three Moisketeers.
that's right. Moist Jaw, Saskatchewan. Anyway, so yeah, there was, that's really what it was. It was about, getting shit sorted out for the natives, and then joining together to fight off the degens from upcountry. That's really what the flavor of that was. Would you concur?
Different groups coming together, like the Skids and Glenn coming together during that episode. Like the whole episode was about coming together as a community, even though they were completely different. Common ground. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
By the way, listen to Common Ground Football Podcast if you're in the NFL, because they're good friends of ours and they're lovely. They're Seahawks fans and Cowboys fans.
Go Seahawks.
Go Cowboys. And anyway, go listen to them. They're fun.
I'm
guys.
a Chargers fan.
No.
Did you lose a bet? Well, actually, if you bet on this last week, you did lose a bet.
I just picked. When I was getting into football, I just picked a team. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. That's all.
Well,
that's all.
I mean, you do have Canadian American football.
Yeah.
The CFL league.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, we had who is here? The Raiders and somebody else were playing in Winnipeg last Thursday, and a couple of the guys they came into Canada wearing nothing but denim and mustaches, and they had posted
Aaron Rodgers.
Who was the toughest guy in Letterkenny?
It was Aaron Rodgers.
Smelts.
Oh, right.
It was Aaron Rodgers with that terrible mustache and the Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, was that? Okay.
Yes, that was Aaron Rodgers. I remember that picture. And it started becoming a meme of
that. That was so funny.
I love it.
That was in my my neighboring capital city. Basically, I lived 20 minutes from there. They played in our football team stadium. Apparently, it cost them $1 million to transform it to be NFL. I don't get it for an exhibition game, but people went. They loved it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, NFL is pretty huge. I mean, where they're going over there multiple times over to the UK multiple times a year.
That's right. That's right.
To play games. So, and of all the sports franchises, who is the number one overall team of all the sports franchises in the world? In the world? Number one. Who's number one in money?
Like you're talking like all sports ever. New York Yankees?
But from that part of the world?
From any part of the world.
No, I mean the actual one. I'm thinking like New England, the Patriots or something.
The Dallas Cowboys are number one.
Huh.
They're worth the most money?
Worth more money than the second one, which is Manchester United.
Oh, no, see, that makes sense.
Holy fuck.
Wow. God damn, Jerry Jones.
I want to see Manchester United fucking face them in football and then Dallas Cowboys face them in soccer.
Hell yes. I want to be at both of those. Or make both teams play rugby.
Yeah, just make them both play rugby together.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
We need to start a petition for that one.
Exactly.
I'm in with that.
And back to Letterkenny.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I knew this was going to be a fun
Enough of the
episode
toughest team on the
you two
planet.
have already talked so much off of this.
Well, just testing the other night. I think we talked for an hour at least. So,
just bullshitting.
Yeah, so anyway,
okay. So that brings us to our episode today.
Yeah, which is the season 4, episode 4, which is
the talent show.
Letterkenny Talent Show.
Talent Show.
Correct. And we start off with the open, which is the produce stand.
Yes.
It's the Hicks all together, and your pals found a package that belonged to a couple of degens the other day, and so they're having a discussion about whether or not, because Dan put it back where it belonged, because
did not belong to him,
because he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. That Dan, he's a good guy.
And that's basically what it comes down to is that Katie and Derry wanted to know what was in the package.
They were more curious than feeling. Yeah,
and because they didn't say degens from upcountry, they just said degens. So, there was from the names on the package were Soupy Campbell's and Spider Cream Ants.
All right then.
See, and like I want to know who the fuck are these guys? Like who? Yeah. You don't hear it before, right?
No.
Who the fuck are these guys?
That's going to be.
We got names for no characters and characters with no names.
Yeah.
Like Soupy Cal makes sense because we have Campbell's soup in Canada, so that makes sense. But the Spider Cream Inside didn't figure that one out.
Was it Spider what now?
Cremants. So anyway, Dan popped it back in the mailbox, and in the end, because it basically, Wayne is the judge of everything. And that's I think that's kind of the thing that this episode really talks about is Wayne being the judge, and that he's the one who said, I'm with you, Dan. You did the right thing. And so, but the way Dan talks, it got them all talking, saying "you guys is," and
even Dan was confused about it at the end.
Yours and Katie's is, and Wayne's is and Katie's is, and Wayne says,
You know what? I kind of trust my ass more than just a little wee bit when people use big words to sound smart. It's far more smart and efficient to use small words. Save your breath for something more important, like chorin or toe curling.
Especially toe curling.
I think I know what your incinerating's at here, Wayne. And I want you to know I take great solace in working through all the conflictions that come from the King and Queen's English.
Shall I call you an ambience, Dan? Or better yet, a wambliance?
The library has lots of choice literature to help you through your confliction, Dan.
Well, the library's full of choice literature.
Irregardlessly, espresso.
Ooh, now that one's so wrong, it might as well be right. In any event, the decision on what happens to the package is Daryl's and Dan's, not mine and Katie's. But you did the right thing, Dan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate your support.
See, I love it when he adds it like the. It's like.
Oh, but yeah,
so good.
Irregardlessly,
espresso.
Fuck.
My favorite part was, should I call in ambulance, Dan?
Wambulance.
Ambulance or wambulance. Yeah.
I feel like I say that once in a while, a wambulance, or I say, I'll be talking to somebody and I'll say irregardless, but then I'll be like, no, sorry, I meant regardless. Now I'm an asshole.
Well, I will say, I think it was a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
I said irrespective,
And I thought you said irregardless. I was so offended.
and then I questioned myself. Did I say irregardless?
I'm not as much of a grammar snob.
You're like going back to the fucking recording. I did not say that.
I'm not as much of a grammar snob as some of my friends are, because I understand that a lot of language comes from privilege and how you were brought up and all of that. But there are certain words, like in writing, if I see the words a lot as one word, I judge you.
Yep.
It's nothing about education. It's just literally like, no.
There's
a gut punch in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like when I'm going through it and I'm trying to think about, do I want to invite somebody to the Facebook group? And I go to the abouts and I see, are you following Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Ted Nugent, Duck Dynasty? And then I'm
Duck?
like, I'm not going to block them. Mm-hmm. Because if they come back and say, I'd like to join your group and these are the things I like and I can follow the rules, I'll give you a pass. Now, if you start some shit, then you're on your way out. And into the
we don't get shit in our group, though.
Into the Facebook way.
Nobody else lets it happen.
We did once.
We did. Okay.
Yeah. So
I missed that.
yeah.
Fuck, I used to be in some Facebook groups for Letterkenny, and they were like, the admins were like, if you don't fucking make some kind of GIF about Gail fucking like doing something Gail, you're like kicked out. Like if your first post wasn't Gail doing something like fucking stupid, you're kicked out. And
what?
The guy was like he was like a white trash redneck almost, that he was just like,
there's so many people that don't
this
get
is like
the
the
point.
guy that controlled the page.
Yeah.
So many people that don't get the point.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, and that actually it
Sure.
really works with the very opening of this episode, or after the cold open, where they're listening to that comedian and he's making jokes that are just like completely not. I mean, they're essentially anti-woman, and everyone in the audience is just like, nope. Like, yeah, okay, guys out there who watch Letterkenny, take a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah.
Well, exactly. Like the guy was, and you know what's funny? Like the guy was, we'll talk about it later. Fuck it. Let's just get off the show.
So yeah, but anyway, at the end of the open part was where Wayne says, "Hey, you ever see the movie? There's something about Mary, but you didn't know they were making a Canadian version. Yeah, it's going to be called There's Something About Marie."
Something about Marie.
Okay, now, and as a Canadian, I was thinking about this for a moment, and I didn't quite get it at first. And the only thing I could figure out was that Marie is like a French version of Mary. That is exactly what it is. Like Marie is a French version of Mary.
I mean, I wonder if that's a foreshadowing. That'll be in the thoughts, theories, things. Is that a foreshadowing of Mary Fred? So,
yes, that's very true. That is very true. And but you know, in the French, when you say like Marie, it's or Marie is like
Right.
Marie. So it's there's something about Marie that wouldn't have sounded right if he had put a French
Right.
accent on when he hasn't started learning French yet.
True. Then we get
True
to
that.
we go to Modine's. We get there's a stand-up comic there who is just shit horrible, and people are just kind of tolerating him until he starts sexually harassing, basically, or objectifying Bonnie. And fucking, and what's funny is, I mean, McMurray will be all day with Wayne about saying, you need to hook up with Bonnie.
He would rather have the devil that he knows
Right.
than the devil he doesn't
Right.
know. I get
Right.
that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you call him? A sidiot. So anyway, that was kind of a short thing. It's just that, that to get into what this episode became, but it also, it was like them talking about, we don't take that kind of shit. That's,
Like, we know she's beautiful, but we don't talk about her like that. That is
Right.
not okay.
right.
I felt like McMurray stepped up and basically saved this whole fucking scene. Even scrolling down was like, he's like, why the chick or the comedian there is like, why the chicken cross the road? And scrolling down,
Why?
like,
Yeah.
why? Like he's so fucking
Right.
innocent. Like, but like, McMurray knows from the start. They're like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like,
He threw a piece of chicken at him.
he threw chicken at him. The one joke that he made about him was something about Mr. Clean shopping
Yes.
at Baby
That
Gap.
was
I thought
pretty
that was kind of funny. But
Well, the thing about Dan and the way he reacted to it, like this whole episode is Squirrely Dan talking about himself, essentially. So he's like, being a comedian,
Essentially.
that must be hard. Like he's giving reverence to the comedian because that's what a fan of comedy would do, and like trying to, encourage him, even though he's really fucking up.
Right.
And just, I love that that's a theme all the way through, right from like watching the comic where he's like, well, it doesn't seem that hard, but this guy's kind of fucking it up. How can
Yeah.
You're totally right, and I never even thought of that. To be honest, like when I was watching it the other day, the recap, I didn't really thought of that. To be honest, that's a really good point.
Well, he's my favorite character. So
So then we jump to the gym, and we've got
Do you like Scrolly Dan?
she's fucked him more than anybody else on the show. So anyway, we jump to the gym. We got Riley and Jonesy trying their hand at getting some clients at the gym to do training.
and they're so
and they start off with trying to get Tyson and
Joint Boy,
and
because that's who needs training.
and then Tyson gives him why we would train with you.
You look like our before pictures.
You look like our before pictures.
It's the best thing.
I know what I actually appreciate Tyson and Joint Boy's patience for actually listening to their banter. Like, okay, well, listen to you out there, and you guys actually fucking work here, and then they're like, fucking rights we do, and they're like, went on again there, and then they're like, you're like our before pictures, so good on them for listening and being patient.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
just
because
sitting
that
there
was
like,
at the very end.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And Joint Boy's first response is, "What are you guys smoking?"
Yeah, exactly. He basically wants
Exactly.
some of that shit because they're fucking clearly messing
so
ahead.
Yeah, then we back to the produce stand, and the McMurrays show up. McMurray, Wayne, how are you not going to talk so bad? Oh, the one side, get after it. All right. The lovely Mix McMurray and I have been doing some very serious thinking, and they're talking about we should do it ourselves. What stand-up comedy? And then that's when they get in all the, well, to be fair, and
Which I believe is the first time it's now happened in front of somebody other than just their group, just the main Hicks
yeah,
group.
because I don't think it's been.
It was a pretty
was.
big, to be fair. To be honest,
And so and Dan says that comedian was a joke. And so they get on about trying to McMurray tries to tell a joke about making him a lie down comedian, and then having to explain the joke. Wayne says, well, to confirm, it's pretty, you see there, you prove point that you're trying to be funny and nobody gets your shit. You're hooped up like him. So we
I understood it, but I didn't laugh.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So, we keep going along and, talking about, starting the event and putting it on Facebook and, that Jimmy Dickskin would host, and
Who would be the judges?
Yeah,
Likely.
and that who's going to be the judge? And Katie says, "I'll judge."
Was Mrs. McMurray fucking already?
What's that?
Was Mrs. McMurray already pretty heavy into the gym?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Like
She
at the
was
Sunday
always
really
afternoon,
slurring.
and she's like fully into the gym.
She's got the flurries, the flirty
Yes.
slurring. I'm slurring, and I'm not even drunk.
You like the flirty slurring. It's what I do.
But I watched that. I watched her the entire time.
She is so fucking good.
She is so good, and she's fucking gorgeous and
very good.
She is just.
You're gonna watch Winona Earp now, aren't you?
I am. I'm gonna have to. But anyway, yeah. So then Katie and Wayne are gonna judge.
Why you guys?
And so yeah, that's
Born to judge, bud.
Born to judge. And let's see today. Nope.
Dan wants to be a comedian.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This
so
is my fault.
It was on the next page. That's what it was. Top of the next page. That's where I am.
Top of the next page.
Top of the next page to you, laddie. Anyway, so Dan says,
Will you be needing a jokesmith for this esteems affair? Because I've always wanted to try my hands at stand-up comedy. I've often wondered how those courageous souls makes it work. Salt-of-the-earth people, stand-up comedians. For the most part.
for the most part. And
He's just like
Yes!
staring at the
On that
camera
part-
like I'm
on that part,
just
for the
talking
most
about
part.
me.
He did it a
well,
couple
it's
times, yeah.
But at that point, it's at that point where he says, "For the most part," that he's
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. And so he's in. He's in. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good stuff. So, good stuff.
Like, what about like Mrs. McMurray was fucking really pushing Daryl to like be in the talent show as well.
They all know
like,
that
almost...
he's from a dancing family.
Well, yeah,
and I think she kind of thinks he's cute. Maybe.
Yeah, well,
that's a like, but you're like, why is she pushing him so hard to dance? Like, she fucking must know he dances sexy as fuck and just wants him to dance sexy as fuck in front of her.
Because did she mention that about him? I mean, aside from just wanting him to be in the show,
I don't know if she specifically mentioned it. Did she?
No, that's you don't talk about the dancing until the next scene. But like, she was like almost aroused, like fucking. Like,
she's always aroused.
You can be half excited,
but she literally was like, "Come on,
half nervous, half back.
Come on."
Well, I think she's trying to use her wiles to convince him because she's drunk and flirty.
Well, she's me with a couple less cocksuckers thrown in there.
Cocksucker.
She's like the more than merrier, right?
All right, so then we cut away, and then we come right back to the produce stand.
Yeah.
And Derry's like, Wayne, Derry, what'd you get me into? It's time to get back on the horse, bud. So he's trying to talk him in to getting dancing because it's in his roots. And Kitty's like, are you forgetting your roots? Your line dancing lineage is legendary. Legendary. His Aunt Doreen was known for her legendary line dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever known anyone that has been a legendary line dancer. But what?
My one auntie, fuck, she loves to line dance. Let me tell you. Holy
but
fuck.
how do you get known for?
We
line
know
dancing?
people who line dance.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I could do the boot scoot and boogie fucking like with my eyes closed my whole life, but I don't.
Right.
I'm not
I
fucking
could do
legendary.
the electric
yet,
slide or the Cupid shuffle. Like that's my version. Ooh, the stroll. I can totally do the stroll. Sorry.
So anyway.
Just do the lawnmower.
So that Aunt Doreen would have made it all the way, except she had a bum leg, which was from Burger's disease, and they have a whole play on words about burgers.
And I love that that's a real thing that you literally have to go to the Mayo Clinic for because they are who treats Burger's disease,
which is a thing about clots.
Okay, so that's legitimate.
It's a side effect of smoking, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
all right, then.
It causes the arteries in your hands and your feet to essentially start clotting.
Yeah.
And
there's another name for it as well.
Yeah, but it's a big name. It's got thrombosis in there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the legit name.
But like Burger's disease, I knew Burger's was a real thing, but I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know like you went to a Mayo Clinic to have it treated. But like I thought, it was a legs and arms thing, and I kind of thought it was like, hey, let's fucking have a play on words with all the different
Right?
condiments with Aunt Doreen's
She got his
fucking
burgers treated with
disease.
mayo, ketchup on the competition. Did she ketchup? Yes, and she, despite her burgers,
Yeah.
she never beefed with anyone.
And
And she relished or something.
And for
I can't
those
remember.
of you listeners outside of the U.S., the Mayo Clinic is basically like one of the biggest, what's the word? Educational hospitals.
Yeah.
They do a lot of research there. A lot of rare diseases get treated there.
So after,
In which state?
It's on the East Coast somewhere.
anyway,
The other side of the country from us.
Anyway, so
Okay.
it goes through all that, and Derry decides he's going to do it, and then Dan surprisingly shows up from behind the
Just
the produce
Pops
stand.
out from behind. Yep. You don't see him walking up.
He's like, "Hey guys, I was over at Gaylor's. How's Gaylor?" And well, let me.
That's where I was super, sorry to cut you out there. I was super confused. Like, he just pops up behind the fucking produce stand. Oh, I just left Gaylor's
Did
there.
you
Like-
know?
Like, fuck, does she live in the cornfield?
So here's the what happened there. So it was.
Hey guys, I was over at Gaylor's.
How's Gaylord?
You know, usual. Upbeat and horny. Who's your guys' favorite stand-up comedian?
Mark Forward.
Dave Chappelle.
Stephen Wright.
Why?
Who's yours?
Oh, big feller. Hell of a storyteller. Handsome as the day is long. Can't remember his name, though.
Good guy?
Great guy.
Oh, glad to hear he's a good guy at least.
So
I love that. And the
yeah,
first
I love that.
time we ever watched this episode, literally was like, no, okay, he's talking about himself. Okay, we got to go. And like went down the longest rabbit hole that resulted in all of the stand-up that was available for basically anybody in the cast at that point.
Well,
I credit this episode
Okay.
as being the one that made us start to really look into.
I don't think
the
I knew
people.
at that point in time about Mark Forward.
I didn't either. We
Yeah.
didn't. No.
So yeah, so
but still,
them saying
realizing he was talking about himself, and then
Right.
he mentions the festival that we had to look up to see
Just
that
for
was a
Laughs,
real
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So,
That's
Yep.
a Canadian thing, just for laughs.
Yep.
There, so you
which
know.
we did
It's
not
fucking
know when
awesome.
we started doing this podcast, but
actually
we did learn.
I knew
Go Canada.
I knew of Just for Laughs because I watched a lot of stand up.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Not ice is the fly.
but Mark Forward. This is Wayne's favorite stand up, which I think is hilarious. And that
No, and you know what? I wonder if that really was his favorite stand-up, and they're like, "Hey, I want to get this guy
Yeah.
on the show.
it's quite
Maybe
possible.
he's a
I mean,
Canadian
I
talent."
watched some of
Like,
Mark Forward's tweets, and he did this whole tribute to all these comedians who have helped him out and been super fucking nice on the
Oh
way.
my god, he's such a nice guy.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he plays coach really well as a fucking asshole, but he's really a super
Right?
fucking nice guy. And he tweets some of the nicest things, and then but for some reason he takes them down every so often. I don't know why. I would like to know that because he's fighting for what's right most of the time when those things that he's tweeting about is he's fighting for people. So, but yeah, anyway, this Dan's talking about himself, of course. K. Trevor Wilson looks at the camera, handsome as the day is long.
that was
Yeah,
so
totally.
perfect, eh? Just like, oh, what a cool scene! Like, great to like let
Right,
him have
and
it
so
like
that's
that.
like I think that's the second or third time that's happened. So the first time was with the that I can recall was about the fingers in the butthole. So
Yeah.
that was that, and then so anyway, Dan tries out some of his stand up on them and doing his observationals comedies with his did you ever notice? So going through that, and then we cut to the gym again. Riley and Jonesy's still trying to convince Tyson and Joint Boy.
Because fuck cardio.
Yeah, fuck cardio. So, yeah,
Fuck, they hate cardio. They love taking
basically,
selfies.
They're trying to tell Tyson and Joint Boy that they're getting soft and no more man cans, no more pudding pecks, no ifs, ands, or guts. So I mean, obviously there's perfect specimens as well. I wouldn't say perfect, but they're in fucking shape.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
Yeah, and then so they do their Instagram, Gymstagram photos, Instapics.
Because if you don't take a picture, who's going to know?
Instapics,
And
yeah.
what's the point?
And like the gym babes walking by are like basically laughing at them.
Totally.
Multiple times,
Right.
actually.
Yep. Then we get to back to Modine's. We're at the start of the talent show, and we've got Jimmy Dickens. Welcome to Letterkenny, to the first ever Letterkenny talent show. Round of applause.
Did you do the part that I wanted to? The doot to doot?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't do the doot to doot. Okay.
No. So yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think we see enough dick skin in this TV show.
Lots of dick skin in this TV show. In this episode.
Not enough dick skin.
In this episode,
yes. Not enough in this TV show.
He's counting heads, looking at 25. We got 30 people over here. Doop, de doop, de doop, 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 theme song.
That's the kind of shit I do all the time. Doop, de doop, theme song.
So then we're getting into there. He's introducing the judges. He asks, goes to Katie about, she says that the regular judge thing about what, what you're looking for is
something new,
something different, and a new opportunity. Letterkenny, tonight is your stage. And then he asks Wayne, don't fuck it up, bud.
Don't fuck it up, bud. So the
first one up is Gail, and that she's going to perform a monologue from her favorite movie, Gladiator. Then Gail whispers to Jim, I do apologize. The monologue is from Gladiator. Triple X, glad he ate her.
And apparently she is...
Right. Did you get any audio for this one? Or?
But apparently she is spot on. Katie was
so...
like, oh, that's even better than the original.
Oh, yeah. So...
I felt like if Wayne had not buzzed her off the stage, Katie was going to fucking join her on the stage.
Same thing later with McMurray and his wife. Like, she looked like she was into it.
Yeah. Unlike everybody else who looked uncomfortable.
Unlike everybody else, exactly.
But so
how much time did you guys spend researching Glad He Ate Her to see if she was actually on point?
Yeah, I have not. So but here's
I spent a little bit of time, to be honest. And I couldn't find that.
Would you like to read it? You've got the script there.
What am I reading? Oh, God, we're going to do this. Oh, fuck. Okay. Where is it?
It's Modine's 2, start of the talent show. It should be the next to last page on the front page.
Okay. Jim. Oh, Jesus.
It's where her name is highlighted.
Lingus, you barbarian. Let your Italian hands roam all over my body. You're such a gifted orator. Unleash your sword, I implore you. Spare me, you dictator. Oh, I'm about to climb Maximus. What we do in life echoes in eternal titties.
Did the ghost of Maximus?
It's Idris is at the door.
Oh, Jesus.
Idris got the door open.
Yeah, hard no.
She heard me coming. She heard me coming.
Holy fuck, that was bang on.
So yeah, obviously Katie had seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find that scene, to be honest. I looked for a little bit, just to see if it was bang on, but failed.
So then next up is Coach, who's this one's for Barbara. He starts playing his ukulele, and love is a feeling that goes deeper, and then somebody starts coughing and sneezing, and he goes off on a Coach. Sneezes, Christ, heaven, sneezer, Scrooge, just going off on the guy, and then ends up with a yes, it's fucking embarrassing. With the
Jim, Jim brought in a little trash can, and Coach kicked it. That was.
Did you notice when Coach goes, it's fucking embarrassing? Did you see his facial expression? He almost had a tear in his eye. He was so upset.
Because of Barb.
He was trying to do a fucking dedication to Barbara, and he fucked it up.
The thing I'm most excited about with him, I'm looking forward to the Christmas time episode where he talks to Wayne about how him and Barb have sex. And Barb's knockers. Knock, knock, big old boner in shorts. God, he's so fucking funny.
I ever watched that one and I think there was a bloopers reel where they're whatever they were doing takes there, and he keeps fucking it up. It was that one. Yeah. The big old boner scene.
So yeah, then so then we get with Glenn and this which is now formerly the Salty Treats. They have now formed themselves together in a Christian post alt rock emo super band and are called My Tattered Journal, and basically sound, I don't know, would you say Bauhaus or Echo and the Bunnymen.
Echo and the Bunnymen, yeah.
And so I want to be close to Christ and wine.
But I don't know what like the sound. You guys have a sound name for them, but their look reminded me of this band called Orgy from the late 90s or early 2000s.
I was basically saying I want to hear the rest of that song because it's exactly what I would hear in the goth club that I go to on Friday nights. Like I love 80s, 90s goth. Like that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
See, I think Orgy was like almost like industrial rock pop.
A lot of goth music gave birth to industrial music.
Oh yeah, totally. It's it's just so it's like goth begat emo, begat industrial with
industrial was before emo.
Well, I'm saying that they're branched out. So emo branched and industrial was like goth plus metal. Mm-hmm. And so then that which kind of birthed the Nine Inch Nails and all those guys. The emos, I'm not familiar with the emo bands so much, but so
me neither.
I would have to
we could get Natalie. Yeah,
she would know.
I like to say that my stepdaughter copied my taste, but picked up where I left off when I was about 13. Yeah, I diversified massively.
Very, very cool.
But like I caught her, this is a couple of years ago when she first started getting into kind of emo music. I was walking by her room and I recognized the singer and I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's this new band I just heard of called Offspring. And I'm like, oh Jesus. So right,
holy
exactly.
fuck.
So
I fucking grew up on Offspring.
I was already in college when Offspring was
so good. Well, their first album, Smash, was like the number one independent album ever released in the history of fucking music, basically, or for rock and roll at least. And I like them; they're fun. Do you guys think that like also like the whole Skids? Not the Skids. With this band here, like how much Glenn is like, I'm a Christian guy, but I'm gonna do some kind of goth thing.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of fun?
I love how his character he will try to fit in any mold that he can, even if it's in the Skid outfits from last couple of episodes, and so that's kind of,
I swear I thought his hair was fucking dyed, to be honest, like and like down the front, like where it's like drooped down,
exactly.
Like with gel.
Speaking of the Skids.
Yeah. So then we jump to the Skids. They're going to do
what?
They do a dance routine and they get so far in through it. And Wayne is he stops them.
What the actual fuck was that, Stuart?
Scream therapy juxtaposed against self-expression from the streets. You just witnessed a new genre of dance that's about to slip through the Saudi, Samoan, Estonian, Scandinavian, Istanbulian, Sri Lankan, Swiss, Saharan, Southern State, Underground City streets. It's called ache dancing. And now, for our second set.
And now for our second set.
See, I loved how he actually had to like bump Rolls.
He elbows him in the sternum
to like get that noise factor. And just like that's like part of the basically part of what he's saying there with the
ache
dancing or whatever.
Instead of break dancing,
ache dancing. Sorry, but like you know what? This part too, I love how like the background. I can't remember the Skids' names in the background.
Connor and Darian.
Like
they're so important.
They
in this scene, in my opinion.
If you go back and look at them, they're always
doing something interesting.
Right.
They are, but they were so wild in this particular talent show episode. Like they were so fun to watch. Like you watch the episode or that scene back to back, and it's like you just watch those two. It's so fun.
So what I liked about which I wonder if that's. I'll get in thoughts and theories, but Saudi, Samoan, Estonian, Scandinavian, Istanbulian, Sri Lankan, Swiss, Saharan, Southern State, Underground City streets.
See, I was gonna say like, what the fuck kind of talent does Tyler Johnson have up his sleeve there to fucking say that? And then I was gonna say like, I couldn't even say that if it was in front of me, and then you just fucking pulled that shit off.
And then we start hearing some sleigh bells, and we see Santa.
Oh, Santa.
Which is McMurray.
My God.
So they do a little play acting.
I don't like to kink shame, but don't do that in front of everybody. Not everyone is consenting.
You came to our talent show, you can shit it.
You know that they did. They came up with this idea just so they could do this in front of people.
Right, because they I mean, obviously they had the outfits because they wanted to stop you before you needed to dry clean anything. We're gonna have to dry clean them anyway. So, God, and then we back to
but that goes back to Katie too, because in that one she looked like she was. I mean, she got the big eyes about that one.
I
and
wonder,
then she was like,
yeah, well, that'll get into thoughts and theories in a bit. So back to the gym, Riley and Jonesy trying get the snipes to work with JB and Tyson. They try to, I guess they're pretending that their celebrity is what's is getting these people to work with Tyson and Joint Boy or whatever it is.
Sure.
So they say, okay, this is going to happen. We'll just claim ownership of it. and then they say, you think what I'm thinking? Apples and nails, wheeling some tails, ninja dust, and they split off in different directions.
Ninja dust
for some strange reason. Again,
I love that upward shot,
right.
of the ceiling of the gym there. And you see them running opposite directions. That was so fun.
Then we
there's no fucking dust.
Then we get to back to Bodine's.
Everybody's laughing.
Yeah, everybody's laughing. This is Dan and Derry. This last bit, and
Dan's stand up.
So Dan's doing his stand up, and
did you ever notice?
Did you ever notice? Yeah, and so and I mean, I know what we know this is all about. I mean, like, and he picks on Glenn, and Glenn is just laughing along, and
and he's good natured about all of it,
right?
Like, you know what? Like, does like when he was doing the samples with the other Hicks there, they were kind of finding it boring, and it's like, that's accurate.
Well,
I guess,
so that's what he gets all through his time. That's my times, and so Jim comes up there and asks the judge. He goes to Katie first, of course, and Katie's like, well, it was observational as build, funny because it's true, I guess. Overall, not so bad. And so, Dan, thank you, Miss Katie's. Appreciate your assessment. And then, which him just saying that Jim Dickens really appreciates and says, and then goes to Wayne, and Wayne says this.
Well, I liked it because what I see, I understand. Whereas everything else I've seen today, I don't understand.
So autistic.
Yeah, that's very true, eh? Like, and everything, like, I don't think any of us understood anything that's happened before, right?
But
like, except for, well, I like Gail's.
But in particular, the reason why what Wayne said was so important to me is because that is very much what any person I've ever met on the spectrum, what they would say about something like that. I like what I understand. And I understand what you just did.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand this other stuff and I can't process it well because I don't understand it. I don't like it. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of people like me who are what society would call high functioning, which is not a word that I like to use very much, but I don't present to society as what society would think of as someone with autism. And, I think that right there is really what you can catch it on, because I always called myself weird or quirky, or like I was very picky about my food. It wasn't that. It was I had trouble processing certain foods. I had trouble, and it wasn't like it would be the texture or the smell, and it wasn't anything tangible.
Or it could be even a combination of smells.
It can be a combination of smells, and
so
that's
things that you could eat individually.
Yeah,
but not together.
It's me too well now, 13 years. So in things like that, like when Wayne says something like that, that's exactly how it feels. I like what I understand. I understood you, therefore I liked it, and I like you. You know, it's the same thing with all of the people that he's friends with.
Yeah.
He understands Katie. He understands Dan. He understands Derry. Doesn't quite understand McMurray, but he's trying.
Well, and the reason I think I understand what you're doing, and you don't have to explain it to me.
Because when someone explains it to me, I feel like an idiot, and
Right.
then yeah.
So we have that.
Or
Basically,
he just feels uncomfortable, which
oh yeah,
you
so,
know me with my cringy shit.
Yeah. So he showed that with Gail when he was trying to covering his eyes.
Yes.
That was the McMurray.
That was the McMurray's.
He was covering his eyes and trying to find the buzzer.
It's me when like watching. Good example would be Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like there were some things that I liked about it, but I don't like comedy that much because once it starts turning cringy, I get super uncomfortable and I don't like that feeling.
Right.
That's what I see Wayne.
It's a girl in a comic book store.
I like
right. That's different. But I
like Big Bang, like watching it randomly.
Yeah, I used to love it.
When we were watching it,
I analyzed it too much.
Yeah.
Well, no,
you're not the only one. It just got more tropey.
Yeah, it did.
As it went on.
It wasn't so tropey in the beginning.
Only
that's for sure.
relying on the trope.
Yeah.
So that's what it was about. And, so all nerds are this. And,
and they have trouble with women.
Right.
And a woman can't be a nerd. And
you're right.
Yeah.
So all that dumb shit. So.
Yeah. But anyway.
Say hi to Luke. He's going to bed.
Oh.
Hi, baby.
Yeah. So cute.
So cute.
Looks like he's got hammer pants on.
It's a sleep sack.
Can I have a sleep sack?
You have a sleep sack.
It's very cool. The one thing I was going to say about Scrolly Dan's stand-up routine there, I when you like, I've watched comedy online sometimes, like just sitting at home by myself watching it. I'm like, hey, it's funny, like, but you don't necessarily laugh out loud when you're sitting by yourself there. But when you're in a bar full of fucking drunks, and you're all drunk, and this guy comes out and he starts fucking hammering out these fucking one-liners like this, it's fucking hilarious, and everyone's roaring, laughing, and Katie and Wayne are fucking just
right
as their friends.
Drinking. Or maybe they are drinking.
He's just doing the shit that they do together,
right.
And everyone else thinks it's hilarious, and they're like, "Yeah, this is our friend. This is what he does."
Sure.
Everyday fucking reality.
Which I think is another reason why Wayne likes it so much, is because it's his normal. It's almost his routine.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then
the after work bevies they have on by the stand there.
Yeah. And so then after Dan goes off, we get the announcement that says our final act of the night this evening. This gentleman coming from a long, long line of dancers, and tonight he's here to dance for you. Let's hear it for Daryl. And Daryl comes out. He's coming out
sweaty.
He's coming out from like a boxer comes out from
from behind. Yeah.
Right. And so he's
wasn't he slapping his face?
Doing the
psyching himself up. And now there was a little thing that I never caught the first 3 times watching this episode, but I caught it this last time when Derry walks by Wayne and Katie. Wayne, they make eye contact and Derry keeps going. Wayne looks over at Katie and kind of gives her what do you think? Like, I'm wondering if they had set up a plan ahead of time. Okay, if he freezes, we're going to help him.
Right. Because then.
Yeah. I saw that too. And I fucking think, I feel like they're like, that's a fucking sibling.
Like, this is our buddy. We talked him into doing it.
Because he starts off dancing, and Wayne looks over at Katie says he's losing it, and Wayne says, all for show offs there. Hang on there, good buddy. So, and then they watch him and they give him a little bit more, and they say, yeah, he is losing it. Let's get up there. So the Wayne and Katie join in, and then the others join in, and everybody's doing the dance,
and everybody's loving it,
and they're just cheering him on. Riley and Jonesy walk in and are so fucking confused, and they say, "Fuck cardio," and then leave. So that's the end of the episode. So.
Another thing about that last scene when they're showing everybody dancing, there was a look that passed between McMurray and his wife that I just was like, okay, that's me and Dean. Like, he made a face at her, and she's just like, God, you are so cute. I love you.
Yeah, because I watched
that.
Right?
He had that dorky
that's
look.
Your shit. Yeah. That is the shit you do to me all the time.
That face that McMurray makes there is basically one of the most used faces for like copy and pasting onto like for photoshopping memes and stuff like that. That there's that look he has, like looking back at her,
and that pie face too, with all your chins.
He loves her like fucking. I'm gonna be Santa Claus and give her a souvenir. Don't you worry.
Oh man, so So yeah,
All right.
So if we'll get to the thoughts, theories, and questions. So let me, because I had the one up and then I lost it. Let me get back into it.
Because we've been talking for an hour.
So I switched things around. We had one from, we've had a question from him before, which if I can get fucking down to it, here we go. Mark Sparky, he says, love Mrs. McMurray. The way she looks at Daryl when they talk about his upcoming performance is sexy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you guys were talking about.
Yep.
That you noticed that.
That there seemed to be some kind of like she was trying to, because she didn't flirt with any of the other people that they were talking about. She was flirting with Derry. Like,
yeah, with Derry for some reason. Like, is it because he pulls on teats all day? And she's
maybe.
Like, fuck,
I honestly think it's because we've had a couple of episodes where we hear about Derry being a legendary dancer. We don't hear about it being line dancing, but at the different parties that they've had, they always talk about Derry being this great dancer. So maybe she's just watching him up and she's like, now I want you to go up on stage for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, all right. So, and from our page on our Facebook page, Valerie Lopez says, this is one of our favorite episodes when I interviewed Kate Trevor Wilson, because she interviewed him. She does a comedy podcast called Comedy Wham, out of Austin, Texas, and has gotten to interview him twice now. It's mentioned how much I love this episode, conveyed friendship and helping a friend in need in the final scene. Mm-hmm. He joked about how hard it is to line dance in overalls. That she has a question in theory. Anyone else creeped out by how similarly gothy and creepier Pastor Glenn and the Skids music sounded, and we all saw how creepy the McMurrays were.
Well, the creepy McMurrays, that's a given. I think everybody, that the point was for them to make everybody uncomfortable.
Right.
But I'm also thinking, like, how expensive is it? Like, is this like what middle of summer?
Probably,
I'm thinking?
yeah.
And let's say, fucking.
Derry's got short sleeves on and he's sweating.
It must. How expensive does it cost to find a Santa costume in summer? And then they already plan on having to get dry cleaned, or do they just own like a slew of costumes?
Well, he said they weren't cheap, so he just bought them. Apparently,
the way they refer to it sounds like that they're rented costumes. But then again, knowing the McMurrays, I'm kind of like, I think I bought those.
Good, yeah.
Like that's just my theory on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure that they have a plethora of, oh geez, what's a good word? Costumes for their enjoyment.
Yes.
All I know is that before I go stand in line for Santa Claus with my kid this year, I'm going to look that guy in the eyes and make sure he doesn't have McMurray eyes. So it's not happening.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Then another recent follower of ours, actually is another recent purchaser of our merch, Courtney Kristen Skagg, was kind of went off of Valerie's and said, I think what was creepier to me about the McMurrays was that they did the act in front of the entire town.
Same.
I mean, we all know bad gas travels fast in a small town, so I would guess the whole town actually knew it, but it was never portrayed outside the smaller group settings that we've seen before. And you got to laugh at McMurray's response to Wayne, something like, well, the costumes are going to have to get dried clean anyways.
Well, yeah. Like it's fucking, they're getting wrecked.
They probably already need to be dry cleaned.
Yeah, one of the thoughts that I have is, do you think the McMurrays and Shoresy have hooked up?
Wow.
I don't know how they would travel in the same. We've never seen Shoresy outside of the ice rink, so he doesn't hang around.
He's been at the gym.
Oh, he's been at the gym. He doesn't hang out at Modine's or.
No, he's been.
She's not a mom either, eh?
Okay,
so.
I will talk. This is future episodes, so
yes,
I would assume because they're in a small town, if he's been in Modine's before, which in future episodes, as well as being at the gym in future episodes, that he's got to have. They've got to come across each other somehow. I don't think he just stays at the gym or the ice rink.
It's kind of that same argument about Roald and Dax and Ron. Mm-hmm. Like, how have they not met when Roald is literally like their dream otter?
Right.
So I think even though it's a town of 5,000, they may know of each other. Like, I feel like Roald knew who they were, but had never actually met them. Again, future episode, until that future episode happens.
Right.
Maybe that's the thing where Mrs. McMurray, because we don't know her first name, maybe she knows about him and has heard about him and is on the lookout for him, but maybe hasn't met him yet.
I live in a town of 5,000 and I know my neighbors basically and some other people around town. So you fucking, it's surprising, but you don't really know a lot of people in a small town unless you're like one of those like crazy outgoers that's going around doing
That's
Or
crazy,
you're
true.
like the bartender.
Right, because
crazy
well,
stuff.
true, yeah. I mean, I lived in a small town in Texas, and I knew people from the shops. Yeah,
Howdy, partner.
And you would know people just by, oh, I've seen him around before. He's been around here before, so he's from here. So
That's me.
Yeah, I don't think we would knew a lot of our neighbors, but we knew more. I mean, when he said, when like Wayne says, bad gas travels fast in a small town, that is very true, because you will.
That is super fucking true. I just heard a rumor about somebody in town the other day. And I said, you can't fucking spread that rumor. There's no fucking way that's possible. Almost as far as the fucking ginger fucking an ostrich. Like, there was no animals involved, thank God. But like, just this scenario was like, there's no fucking way that's possible. Like, don't spread that.
It's very true. Bad gas does travel fast in a small town.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any other questions. I'm looking for on Twitter because I don't think I checked there. Let's see. Nope. Nobody else. So that is all our questions from online. So, let's see. We have any trivia because I did mention that. What else?
We're still on theories.
Theories.
We're still on theories because there are still things that we haven't talked about.
True.
Let's not go into that yet.
True.
Thank you. So we talked about Mrs. McMurray and Derry. Potentially, you brought up Mrs. McMurray and Shoresy. What about Katie and the McMurrays?
The gin.
Well, we know she's been with Mrs. McMurray.
We know she's been with Mrs. McMurray, but she seemed heavily into watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a bathroom.
Katie seemed heavily into watching the two of them enjoy themselves up on stage, unlike anybody else. So my question is, have they all hooked up before? Because she knows who they are now and they know who she is. And it seems that's a more likely.
I think that goes back to the same thing with the first talent entry with Gail being, I'm pretty sure that Katie, had Wayne not shoved his eyes and buzzed them off the stage, she would have put some fucking elf ears on and jumped on the stage too there. Had it not been for
I can't say that they
down.
have or haven't, but if it came out that they had, I would not be surprised.
Agreed.
I'll put it that way. How about that? So yeah, those things, just don't. I mean, I'm completely not surprised either way. So.
And so what do you think about, and this is something that we talked about a little bit at the beginning of the podcast, what do you think about the fact that this show is very like on the nose feminist? Like, there's this beautiful woman, let her be beautiful. We're not going to talk shit about her. But yet there is a huge contingency of Letterkenny fans that do not subscribe to that same level of moral ethics, I guess.
There's a lot of guys that are more so with that opening comedian at the start of the episode.
So what
there.
is that?
Who is that guy?
And I know
Who is
I
that
meant to look
comedian?
that up because I know that there have been things about him. So I think he is an actual stand-up comedian. I believe. I could be wrong. But I did not fully research that in order to say one way or the other. But I know that I've seen that pop up in the Letterkenny subreddit, which we are the official partner podcast of the Letterkenny subreddit.
I think the guy. I feel like the guy actually is a stand-up comedian. I feel like he has that ability to do that. But he's just doing that part for the show as well, right?
Oh yeah. So the thing that I was going to get to about was I wonder if, because the Stuart talking about Saudi, Samoan, Estonian, Scandinavian, Istanbulian, Sri Lankan, Swiss, Saharan, Southern state. If that's what comes with when Riley and Jonesy and Dax and Ron are doing their takedowns about the Spartan Sahara or what, if that was the seed.
So highlight that. And then when we get into those episodes, because those will be coming up, when we get into those episodes, we can refer back to it. See how that works?
Let's hope I remember to look at that highlighter. Yeah,
that's actually super funny.
I wonder. Yeah, I do wonder if that's where that came from. Let's see, and the stand-up comedian stuff is, I'm sure a lot of what Trevor and Mark Forward did are probably a lot from their experiences on the road. Maybe not for them themselves, because like we're talking about, like at the very beginning where he's talking about the comedians, and he says, what does he say, for the most part or something like that. Talking about they're really good people for the most part. So
I wonder
who was
Dave
Kate's
Chappelle.
favorite comedian? Wasn't it?
yes.
Dave Chappelle.
and
Yes.
we actually found out from Tyler Johnston that they met Dave Chappelle. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they met and got to meet and hang out when they won their first big award. I read
about
so Dave
that.
Chappelle was
You're right.
there, and they got to hang out with him. They said it was so cool. So yeah, Dave Chappelle was hers, and Darius was
Wright.
Stephen Wright, which I love Stephen Wright.
It's perfect.
A Billy sound of the 70s.
I'm unfamiliar with Stephen.
Yeah,
Wright,
you
but
would
if I
know.
heard him,
Did you see?
Well, I guess-
Did you see Reservoir Dogs? So,
yes, I've seen that a couple times, but
So
I haven't
the-
seen it for
the
a
radio
number of years
station.
now. but-
DJ.
the DJ for the radio station is Stephen Wright.
Yes, okay.
He's the one
There's
who's
more things.
he always
I see.
talks like this, and so I went home one night and I put my car key in my house, and my house started up. So it's just very like he's like on methadone or something.
Right?
Oh,
God, he's been in so many things. He was in.
Could you imagine doing this?
Right.
whole
And it- well,
podcast
it's
No,
just
that's
talking,
that's.
where you're just
what is it?
really
Sleep with me?
relaxed.
No.
Yeah, Ira
What is it?
Glass or any of those people from NPR.
But yeah, you would definitely know him if you saw him because he's been in movies since.
Where's
I
he
mean,
from?
Okay.
I wasn't looking at where he's from.
I'm
I'm
just
looking at
kinda-
what he's been in.
I'm kinda
so
curious.
Reservoir Dogs, The Emoji Movie, Coffee and Cigarettes, Babe, Natural Born Killers, Son of the Mask, Desperately Seeking Susan, So I Married an Axe Murderer, Canadian
Son
Bacon.
of the Mask.
Yeah.
Canadian
Loser,
Bacon.
Mixed Nuts, like a lot of the 90s. He was big in the 90s.
Oh yeah, and the 80s. That's where I first
The late
remember.
80s, early 90s for sure. Stars and Bars, then a couple different TV shows.
Oh, see, yeah, Stephen Wright's he's from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts,
I was
yeah,
just
just got to
curious if
that.
he was Canadian. I knew Dave Chappelle wasn't. So,
Dave Chappelle is
Yeah,
definitely
right.
not Canadian. Just gonna throw it out there.
but he can be if he wants to be. We'll
Just
allow
kidding.
it.
Yeah.
He can move. You know what? I will welcome Dave Chappelle to my country.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking right.
I don't know. He's going on tour with Joe Rogan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I know.
I like. You know what? I shouldn't say I like Joe Rogan. I like this band called Tool, and he was on Joe Rogan's show a couple
You
weeks
like
ago, and I
what
thought that
band
was a
called
fun
what now?
interview to listen to.
Tool was
Yeah,
on.
I know who Tool is.
Band called Tool.
I was just making sure. I heard that right.
Oh yeah. I don't know what I've never listened to Joe Rogan's show before. He was on his show and it was like a big thing for the new album. So I listened to it.
Joe.
and thought that was a
My
fun interview.
issue with Joe Rogan is he may personally be an okay guy.
He gives
But
a platform
Bingo.
to people who have very negative.
Gavin McInnes. Fucking the other right wing nut job guy with the black hair.
Doesn't matter.
Do-
We don't
yeah.
need to name them.
Yeah, they're fucking assholes, and they.
Proud Boys and alt-right stars.
That guy with the black
Proud
hair.
Boys and alt-right stars tend to gravitate to his shit. And
It's kind of in a way, it's kind of like Letterkenny, is that because they only see the surface
yeah.
of what the show is.
But Joe Rogan kind of
it's-
embraces it, whereas Letterkenny is like, nah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
this is who we really are.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't know. So, but anyway,
His conversation with Maynard James Keenan though was kind of fun
know.
for me,
So
like
cool.
at least.
who's that?
I don't know.
The lead singer of
So fuck-
Tool
so
and A
fucking
Perfect
cool.
Circle and
Okay.
etc.
He has a vineyard and shit. Fuck, I love him.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's not Letterkenny at
It's
all.
okay.
Like just went way off topic.
Well, Joe Rogan has been mentioned on Letterkenny, so
True story.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
We'll allow it. Let's
All
ask.
right.
Let's go to the judges.
Do you have any more theories or questions about this episode?
I have things listed here. Glenn's band that he renamed for this particular episode is
Right.
My Tattered Journal. My question for you is, what do you think his journal
I
entries
think
would
that's
actually
exactly.
be if he
They
was
would all
writing a
say,
journal?
Wayne,
Did I get touched by Wayne? Please let me get touched by Wayne.
dear Lord, let me touch Wayne
What
in his
Christ?
spirit.
Would it be just? Yeah, let me touch Wayne and Christ.
Absolutely.
Do you think when he's not thinking of? Do you think
Also-
when
also
Wayne
about-
masturbates and he's not thinking of Wayne?
When
Is he
Glenn masturbates?
Yeah. Do you think he's thinking of Jesus?
Well, fuck. He
What's
better. he has. He better. Like who else? Who else?
So yeah,
That's who he's serving.
Another bit of trivia was when they were asking about the judges. They're why are you going to judge, and they're all born to judge, bud. And I'm like, that sounds like it's something.
Yeah.
So, and it's from a show that we don't watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the music shows. And
One of the Got Talents.
The Got Talent, because it happened in Britain. Mostly, it seems like it stemmed from Britain's Got Talent, but it's
Which
also,
makes sense in the Canadian shows would
Yeah.
be showing
Okay.
British television a lot.
So yeah, that's I picked up on that.
But also with the same. Before we get away from Glenn's band, there it was when he was done. He was all dressed up goth and emo there for that,
Right.
and then
They were dressed like My Chemical Romance.
exactly.
Yeah.
Two scenes later, he's fucking back in his church grub and glasses.
Right.
Mhm. With the glasses, and then Dan
So
comments on the glasses.
I almost felt like his hair was almost dyed. Like, and it was like gelled so hard, and just like 2 scenes later, and Dan was basically picking on his glasses, and Gail was getting pissed, and I'm like, holy fuck, Glenn is how like he actually changed like that fast to enjoy the rest of the talent show as himself.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he was up on stage as a character
Right.
who wanted to touch Wayne.
This must be like half.
Well, he
an hour
wanted to be
later.
touched by Wayne.
What was that?
But it must be about half an hour later, and he's changed that fast, like, and got out of the makeup and stuff.
He sounds like, I think he's probably done some stage stuff before, so quick change is probably in his forte.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's my guess.
That's all good then.
Because if you look at the Uncle Eddie's trust when talking about taking the kids to the what was that America's Got Talent on that what they were going to go to, or whatever it was,
Yeah, maybe.
So
Anyway.
So yeah, that's
another thing was Coach was finally giving his tribute to his dead wife Barbara with his ukulele.
Right.
Do you guys have no clue what song he was actually going to be singing?
I think
No.
that was his song. I don't think
Was
that
it a
that was
person?
a...
Shelley, a girl named Shelley Crandall was commented on my thing today. She makes probably the best Letterkenny memes on the internet, and I figured I'll just give her that shout out there because she asked that question when I shared the thing there. But like, you have no idea? Eh? I tried researching it, and I found fuck all.
Yeah. If I haven't bothered. I haven't really had time to look it up today. I don't know. Yeah, my guess is it's something he's probably done on. Like I said, the stand up stuff that Mark Forward did and Kate Trevor Wilson did. My guess are probably taken from things that have either happened to them or other people, other comedians that they know.
Okay.
And my guess is like the whole entire thing about the observational comics, which not that Jerry Seinfeld started that, but he was like the king of observational comedy.
Yeah.
And there were so many people who just kind of spun off of that and reminded me a lot of what Kate Trevor Wilson was doing. My guess is that the stuff that Mark Forward was doing is something that kind of comes out of his act to an extent, because he does little acts within his stand-up. Like the thing about the bit that he does about the fancy hats. That's that fucking bit is so hilarious. If you haven't seen it, folks out there, the bit that Mark Forward does about fancy hats is goddamn priceless. So go watch it and you'll laugh your genitals off.
That's fucking
and just
hilarious.
because my brain totally does what it does, I just did a really quick search for lyrics on that song, and literally what comes up is the script for Letterkenny. So unless I don't use quotes, in which case I've got 50 million hairband songs, but none of them have those exact lyrics.
I was seeing a lot of White Snake.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Here I go again
No,
with
it's a
my
song called Deeper.
ukulele.
It's a song called Deeper. It's essentially the same thing. But no, I think that's a part of Mark Forward,
Yeah.
not.
Because I think he does some ukulele stuff in his act. I haven't seen enough of his stand-up stuff, but
You've seen more than I have.
yeah. So
The only thing
that's,
I had to add also was from a personal experience with the Finders Keepers thing at the beginning of the show there.
oh yeah,
Because they were like,
the thing
They're
that cracked me up about that is it's like they put more stock into that if it's law than law.
I know, right? I had a thing there where I found $10 in the parking lot at work about a month ago, and I was like, "Fucking sweet, $10!" Like, you know, $10 is $10 is $10. You know, I was telling a friend at work there, and she's like, "Well, fuck, I would try and find out whose that money that was." And I was like,
If
well,
it was in something, maybe
it's
just $10.
like $10. If it was a fucking handy, I would put it out online. If anybody lost money, like what amount did you lose, and then maybe you could figure it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to say an amount of. I would do an all email to everybody in the building and say, if anybody lost a certain amount of money, send me a response, and we'll talk privately.
But still, a 10 is a 10 is a 10. Like, and I ended up feeling bad, so I put it towards, like, it was, I think it was my for a raffle for like my kids' daycare. Like, hey, I'll put this money towards something for fucking like a charity for the fundraising. Like, I won't go buy candy and popcorn with it. Like $10 at the parking lot.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
anyways, that
Yeah.
was
No.
I think
Yeah.
that was,
I'm kind of the Wayne scenario where if there's a way to try to find to get it back to its rightful owner, I will make that attempt.
especially when they were kind of already thinking it was Spider and Campbell's or whatever.
Yeah, Soupy Campbell,
Soupy
and
Campbell,
Spider
and something.
Romance. Yeah.
Like, well, what was it? Like, what was it though? Like, they didn't really. Was it a packet?
Well,
was it a wallet?
No, it was a package. And they put it in back of the mailbox.
Yeah,
A misdelivered package.
Right.
good enough. Wayne's right.
Wayne and Dan are right.
He gave mad props to Squirrely Dan, and that was great.
Because he's a good fucking guy.
So
shall we? All right, let's get into Fuck Fight Ferda. We need some noise. We need
something. Yeah, some kind of
Bow,
bumper
bow,
music
da,
for that.
Doobie 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 doo song theme.
Oh my god. Okay. You need to find that cut. That doody doody doo theme song. Because it needs to happen now. It needs to be like my ringtone or something. Because yes.
Doobie 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 doo theme song. All right, so Fuck Fight Ferda. For those of you are just starting to listen to us for some reason at this point instead of season 1 episode.
Figure it out.
Or you're listening with your friend who's trying to get you into either us or Letterkenny.
Sure. So Fuck Fight Ferda is our version of Fuck Marry Kill. We don't feel like anybody on Letterkenny deserves to die, so we will either fuck him.
Hard right, Jay. What?
Well, he's not. He deserved what he got.
Yes.
That was nice.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, fuck. We'll either fuck him, we'll fight him, or that we will be good friends with him and Ferda boys or
Good
girls
buddy.
or whatever, or those
Good
beyond,
buddy.
or those
Ferda buddy.
those beyond the binary.
Another Sleep With Me reference.
Yes. And as we do, we will start with the Hicks, starting with wine.
And remember, this is this episode only.
Correct.
So we're not thinking about future or past Wayne. We're thinking about Wayne in this moment.
Yes.
Wayne in this moment. You know what's funny? I was gonna decide my options ahead of time when I was watching when I was recapping the other day, and I was like, nope, I'm just gonna fucking wing it.
Right.
When we start talking about it, and
that's what I do.
With Wayne, I'm just gonna fuck him. I think, like, to be honest, like this episode. Oh,
yeah.
I kind of want to like rub his shoulders. Like I want to stand behind him while he's watching this and like cringing and just be like, "It's okay, honey. It's okay."
Exactly. He needs to be fucked after this episode.
So
fuck
what do you?
He's gone through.
I'd fuck
So
him.
well, and I would say, and the reason I would say fuck, I don't usually jump in on this. I just take you and whomever else is on.
True story.
But
I'm the one who likes to fuck. Is that what we're saying?
Well, no. What I'm saying, my point is, he is super fucking supportive of his people.
he is.
And this, I mean, not that he's not normally supportive, but he is like.
He tries to be supportive of the stuff he doesn't understand, and he is super supportive of his people that he cares a lot about. Yes,
exactly. So that's He deserves a good fuck. I'd jerk him off just to see where Katie came from or something. Whatever.
No, not quite. Not quite.
I'd jerk Katie off. No, wait.
Yes.
That's
and speaking of which, Katie,
Mr. Campbell.
Katie's next.
Campbell.
Katie. Wait, holy shit. That just Campbell, Soupy Campbell. And we know Katie.
Oh, it's Katie Campbell.
Holy fuck.
He's related to a D-Gen, maybe? Oh, boy.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, shit.
All right. So we'll let that one marinate. And
all right.
Yeah, no shit.
I tried looking up the name. I got nothing.
Yeah. So Katie.
I'm not going first for this one, to be honest. I went first last time.
I kind of agonize over Katie. Like, technically, if I just met her, she would not be my type. So I try not to think about it in that kind of context. And it's a little difficult for me in this one because I'm trying to think of what she did that wasn't kind of the straight man in the episode.
Right. Yeah.
And usually Wayne is the straight man in the episode.
Right.
So I'm going to say Ferda in this one. There was nothing that really stands out to me either way.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Wow. So see, like I was going to say, to be fair, I'm going to fight her and I'm going to fuck her.
To be fair.
Because at the start she was kind of on the side with Derry about like that package, like, that's no. Like we should have kept that package or whatever. And so that's fucking no. I don't agree with that. So I'm going to fight her. And then she fucking turned it around later. So I'm going to fuck her after.
Yeah.
If you fight enough and she might be into it, yeah, I could see that.
Kind of think she is.
Exactly.
Derry.
Oh, Derry. I'm fucking Derry in this episode.
Ferda and a fuck.
Well, he's so endearing.
Derry
and
in
so,
this,
like,
he's the Rold of this episode.
Yes, I'm doing the thing I do with Rold usually.
Yeah. So
yes, I love cute, awkward, endearing people.
Yeah.
That's my type more than anything else.
Yeah.
And that kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this even though I am scared shitless, but I'm going to do this because my friends are, they want me to do this and they're here and they're going to support me and I'm going to do this. Like, I would be right there, like clapping and cheering and dancing along. And then afterwards, whatever he wants.
Whatever. Dan, Squirrely Dan's.
Yeah.
I mean, usually
I'm going to have to fucking... I'll Ferda.
Go ahead.
Ferda.
He's going to fucking Ferda.
Fucking Ferda.
I'm actually going to say Ferda in this one too. I like K. Trevor Wilson's stand-up.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Squirrely Dan's stand-up. I also don't like observational comedy like Seinfeld, so that makes complete sense.
And I think that's where he was going. That was the purpose of.
Oh yeah, it was 100. It was 100%. Shut up. That was only the
his
second
observational
time.
comedy though. Like even his observational looks comedy while he was actually in the talent show and pre-talent show. They like I have experienced that stuff as well. It happened. It's like, oh, that was annoying.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah, no, it wasn't. I wasn't saying anything about it being bad. It's just.
Oh no, no, I wasn't saying that.
A specific kind of stand-up comedy that I like, that I enjoy, and most of the time it is not observational. Yeah. It's more storytelling.
My reaction was much like Katie's. Well, it was observational. Yeah.
But I also understand why Wayne liked it so much because, I do find like I am more interested in things that I understand than things that I'm not. But then again,
exactly.
I like the story driven. Yeah. I really like the story driven, like, I'm not going to go off on a huge rant here, but like Hannah Gatsby or like when you've got 45 minutes where you are essentially telling 50 jokes that actually are all the same joke. Yeah. That's fucking beautiful to me. That is so much intelligence.
Yeah.
And just like, because your brain is what makes you sexy to me.
Yeah. You're more of a humorist than a comedian.
Okay.
That's what I feel in that instance. I mean,
I've never really put it into words.
It's
That's
like a different level.
Yeah. And I understand why people find situational comedy funny. I don't. But again, I think that more comes from that feeling of embarrassment on behalf of other people, that cringe feeling.
comedy, yeah.
I don't like feeling embarrassed. I don't like feeling embarrassed for other people, even if they're fake. So I think that's why that comedy doesn't usually work for me. And with Seinfeld, I just got bored.
Sure.
That
Riley,
was so much about me.
Riley and Jonesy.
Oh, they were boring as shit in this one. Like, come on. They didn't actually even work out themselves.
No, they didn't.
They just stood there the whole time. Like, Joint Boy and Tyson were at least working out while they were listening to the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Cardio.
Don't say fuck cardio. Cardio is the only thing I can do.
Well, it used to be fuck legs. Now it's fuck cardio.
Right?
No,
They hated leg day until they realized that leg day was a good thing.
No, but like I was saying, like what Tyson and Joyper were saying was like they were doing cardio and like they were saying fuck cardio.
Right.
Oh, no, yeah. I wasn't saying that
sorry.
toward you. I'm sorry.
I
talk as if people are in the room with me. I don't know if you can see me. You can't actually see me. Hi, I'm all the way over here. So I talk with my hands. You didn't see that I was actually like performing that in a way. So I apologize.
Okay.
I didn't mean to make you think that.
That's fine.
Anyway, Riley and Jonesy.
Riley and Jonesy.
Right.
Ferda.
All right.
I don't want to fight him, but I definitely don't want to fuck him.
No, I'm gonna fight them.
Yeah.
Fuck. They're just like there's all over everyone all day long. Fuck cardio.
Yeah.
Fuck cardio. They come in the talent show. Fuck cardio. I felt like,
right, yeah.
And then,
in my opinion,
trying to pick on Tyson and Joint Boy. So
exactly, and Tyson and Joyper were like actually putting up with it when they could have smashed them in a second. And
that's a scrap I want to see.
As far as the talent show goes, like you remember season 1 when they had the past the credits there, and like basically it was Riley and Jonesy doing fucking snap bomb training. They could have been on stage basically teaching snap bombs for their talent. They chose not to, and they chose to walk in and say fuck cardio. They're just fucking fuck you guys.
Because everyone was dancing, and dancing is cardio.
Yep.
Dancing is cardio.
So yeah,
and
Tyson and Joint Boy. What?
Dancing leads when you live in a Mennonite country there, or a Mennonite town there. Dancing leads to sex.
Oh yes,
I'm in.
Yes.
Take me dancing,
exactly.
honey.
I do the horizontal mambo.
Yeah.
Tyson and Joint Boy. I'm a lay down comic.
Yes, you are.
I would refer to Dyson and Joy Boy because they were so patient with the hockey players.
But I still, and purely superficially, just this episode, I'm kind of like those Snipes where I'm like, they're attractive and they're actually working out in the gym.
And they're not being assholes.
More Tyson than Joint Boy, but that's just a personal preference on, I don't like all the muscles.
Oh, okay.
No, well, that too.
Okay.
But that's beside the point.
Understood. So
you know me.
They are
squirrely fucking Dan
dudes.
is my type.
Understood. So what is it? after you've hemmed and hawed on this for 2 minutes.
No, I said it. I said that I would Ferda because there's nothing in this episode.
Okay,
but
if
I did,
all right,
Ferda only be one.
Now the McMurrays.
See, that's another one where I want to split them apart, even though I can't.
I'm just gonna fuck.
Yeah. I kind of want to just to say that I had a threesome with the McMurrays, but Mr. McMurray creeps me out a little bit.
I just want to have Christmas that once, like that, just once.
So you're fucking. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Okay. Gail.
Same thing. Fuck. Like her presentation. Like, what do you do?
Right?
High five her? No, you fucking get down.
I was totally thinking, like, I would love to watch porno with her, and then whatever that leads to, it leads to.
Sure.
Well, actually, you know what? At least like her getting super pissed at Glenn when
the
Schooly
LASIK
Dan
didn't
brings
work.
up his eyesight, and she fucking slams her fists on the bar there and walks away. Like,
Well, she was getting cranky that even with Derry sitting there eating, nervous eating, and
yeah, that's true. Eh?
So
kept knocking his beer bottle.
I think she was pissed off that she got stopped.
That's probably.
Jim Dickens. Dickskin.
Okay, when you say it like that, I can't get into it, but that endearing thing.
I'm gonna give you 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5 orgasms. Maybe 6, 7 orgasms.
And sold. Stop.
So you're gonna fuck Jim?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, again, right. And it comes back to that endearing thing. Sorry. It comes back to that endearing thing that I was saying. The doot 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 theme song, like that's in my head now. I'm seeing him do that, and I think it's so fucking cute. So there you go,
Bobby. What do you got there, Bobby?
I don't know. I can only defer to that guy ever. I think.
All right, and
it would get old really quickly, but
I think the only one we have left is the Skids, unless I've missed somebody.
Oh fuck!
You're gonna fuck them?
No.
I was gonna say not in this episode.
I kind of want to scrap the whole group at once. Like
I could never see how
far
Rold.
I go.
I could never fight Rold.
Sorry, you're right. Not Rold.
I would want to fight on behalf of Rold because Stuart fucking punched him up on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's true.
I would want to fight Stuart, but not the rest of the Skids.
Okay, so fight minus Rold.
So we're gonna all
fight
we're all
Stuart
gonna
and
we're all gonna
to the rest of them.
Okay,
how's that?
All right.
Because Stuart's the one that hit him. Nobody else did. Yeah.
Well, is it like fucking fight Stuart? And then you fuck Rold, and then
well, I'm not his type, but
hang out with the
Connor and Darian.
Connor and Darian.
Dude, I do actually want to hang out with them. I kind of want to do that. That would be so much fun.
Working on hopefully Patrick McNeil, who plays Connor, is going to. He's told me that he's going to the producers to find out if he's allowed. So because he wants to do it.
Oh, I hope that Tyler Johnston doesn't get in trouble or anything.
I think Tyler may have a bit more gravitas.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think so as well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked to see.
I'm super interested though because I want to know like what gets some of the shit that they do is brilliant.
Yeah.
And like just with no words whatsoever. Like we seeked out information on them because they were so interesting and they were not a named character for a long time.
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Basically every actor is important in this show. Even
very much. Yeah.
Way to a Man's Heart there, the guy that was I am Orson blah blah. Then the guy's like
Alistair,
my name is
Allison Orson.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Not Allison, but like his sidekick there, and he's like, shut the fuck up. And then it's like, and you guys are saying he was already an actor on something else, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah, it was from last. I'd have to go look at my show notes from last time because that was in there. But yeah, he was an actor from
because that scene is a fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
like, just that one little line there. Shut the fuck up.
So yeah, I think that did I miss any? I don't think there weren't that many actors in this one.
Was it pretty like you could say like the audience, I guess.
We're gonna have a gangbang, an orgy.
Nah, but I think that's everybody.
I mean, unless you want to go with. I mean, I know this would be a fight if you said the stand-up comic, but
oh yeah, I'd kick his fucking ass. You kidding me? He wouldn't make it out of town on 2 feet. That's for sure.
He'd make it out of town on about 5,000 feet.
Can confirm.
10,000, hopefully.
Are you gonna kick with both feet? You got to keep one on the ground. Unless you're doing the flying scissor kick.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm doing the Billy Kwan fly through the air.
Okay. Do that.
Nobody else actually knows what I'm talking about.
That sounds something like out of Mortal Kombat.
See, we had this show when I was growing up in Seattle called Almost Live, and it's where Bill Nye the Science Guy basically came from,
and Joel McHale.
And Joe McHale. That's right. But there was a character, Billy Kwan, which was essentially making fun of old karate movies. And when he would go to fight them, he would fly through the air, but really he was like laying on his back. So he was just laying on his back, flying through the air. And I know you cannot see me.
Bicycle kick.
Like holding a Barbie in the air and pretend that they're flying. Like that's what Billy Kwan would be doing. So that
okay. All 5,000 people doing that at the same time.
At the same time.
Converging on bad stand-up comic guy's head.
This is what happens when you take a break in the middle of Podscare. Of How Are You Now? And I go step outside.
Podscare is our other show.
that I haven't been on in like a year.
Right. Before we button things up,
yes,
we need to judge some things.
Right, the cosplay contest.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I have a way to share these with you unless I send them to you via email, Bobby. Actually, let me.
Can you email them like right this second?
I can. Give me a moment, and we will. Actually, let's do this, and this, and
if they're pictures, you can tell them to the camera too.
Well, I've got them saved on my other laptop. Okay. So, can I do? I can't do forward of all of them.
While we are waiting, I was going to say like that I had messaged Tyler Johnson he had shared a meme of mine, like right to his main page. And I was like, I messaged him, hey, thanks for sharing my meme, man. Like, and he's like, thanks for being fucking hilarious, or thanks for being hilarious, something like that. I can't remember what. And I said, yeah, no problem, dude.
Nice.
Or something. I can't remember exactly what I said.
He's a great fucking guy.
He
sounds like
a
such
nice
a good guy.
Super. Like if we ever get a chance to meet them, he's so far. Him and Tio Horn are the ones that I would leak.
Have you tried? Have you tried talking to the guys that play Tyson and Joint Boy to come on? 'Cause those guys both seem like standout guys. Like I've talked to both of them.
I have not talked to Jay Burton yet.
Joel Gagne, like he's also like a really nice guy.
Sure.
We don't agree politically.
Oh, I see.
So, and right now, for me anyway, that's a pretty important thing. So.
Oh, I see.
Like, I don't know if I could have a conversation.
Oh, I see. I've only like very minimally like messaged with them.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure he's a great guy. I have nothing against him personally. It's right now. I've cut all of the people out of my life that think his way. So.
Okay, so I've sent you 3 pictures or three separate emails of pictures. The first one is the first one I got is from Jeremy.
Yes.
And it says, "This is Bailey. She is such a good girl." And and this is Bailey.
Oh.
Now,
would that be a Gus?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if you consider that a cosplay.
I think I opened the wrong email. Sorry, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, I did.
Though.
Yeah, that's the last one I sent you.
Oh, okay. Yes, this is a very nice looking dog.
Very nice looking dog. I mean, maybe a little pit in there, maybe looking, maybe some shepherd type, but very, very pretty. We love a good
10 out of 10 would pet.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if I was close enough to the mic on that.
Then we've got our next one, which is Carly.
That's good.
And I found her on Instagram, and she just does some super awesome cosplay regardless. But yeah, she did this.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Of Fact You.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
So also
Shit,
very
I
good.
want to do that now.
And then finally
this looks like Skids on the Beach.
Yeah, Skids on the beach. Ain't no big
I like
surprise.
That.
Then
That's really good actually.
Sean, who is the ginger riding on an ostrich.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
So
shit.
All right. So
I like those.
All right. So who's your number one?
Who made this costume? I wonder. Like,
I don't know.
This ginger one.
I'm guessing.
Oh my God.
I'm guessing he made it himself. So okay, who's number one for you, Tiara?
I'm thinking. I like them. They're really clever.
All right.
I'm gonna vote for Fuck You because now I want to do it.
Okay. Bobby.
Oh, am I part of the voting?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Because we don't want to have we don't want to have a tie.
What if we each vote for a different one? We had 3 entries. I'm not near the mic.
I gotta go with the fucking dude with the ginger ostrich costume. Like I have to go with that. Like
yeah.
That's so
funny.
Definitely a good one.
And I gotta just be opposite just to make it a draw for you.
Yeah, but so
I was torn between the two. They're fantastic.
While I love the dog, I can't say that that's a cosplay.
Yeah.
So Bailey, good pup. I would give so many hugs and scritches.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Pets.
If we ever do the idea, the convention thingy, we need to have some kind of like puppers meetup.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
A pupper's room. Pupper's
Yes,
playroom.
I actually wanted to talk to you about that. If you're ever going to do like you were mentioning.
Put
like
a pin in that. Put a pin in it.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry,
Dean.
sorry.
So, because
You laughed out loud.
No,
No?
because there's because I like the costume, and because I sleep with the person that voted for her.
You can totally vote different than me. Both of those are fantastic.
That you're completely correct. They are. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Carl, and her last name is Campbell. Even so.
Okay. All right. There we go.
So she's a Campbell.
But then the other one now, can
Cece.
they re-enter next month?
They could. Oh yeah. So if you okay. So here's the thing. Carly has won. That means she's out for the foreseeable future. Doesn't mean she couldn't enter again at some other point once if we've gotten way down, if we've gotten 10 seasons in, maybe.
If we're still doing this at season 10.
But like, I just want to say, because you picked I
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just want to say sorry to Sean. I did pick you, buddy. But
Sean can re-enter next
Sean,
month.
Sean can definitely if you have not won.
Just keep on fucking ostriches there,
Right?
Sean. There, bud.
Right?
Now you can't use the same picture.
Just take another angle.
Different angle there,
I think
bud.
it should be a little bit something slightly different. I mean,
Yeah, go on
if you went with the boots fucking an ostrich,
Get a friend in
that.
there.
Right.
So
Get a friend. Sean, just go outside in the grass with a friend. You're gonna fucking win next month.
so
Oh yeah, if there's two of you, get someone to
here's
dress up like Boots, and you as Ginger, and the Boots.
It would take at least 3 guys, Sean.
and that's Sean and Bobby and myself.
Oh my!
Anyway, so big congratulations to Carly for her awesome fact you outfit clown thing that she did. This actually at San Diego Comic-Con. She lives in San Diego.
Perfect.
So, yes.
PMS so that we can get your info.
Oh,
never mind. He's got your info.
That was part of
he
the
will probably
requirements.
PM you so that he can find out stuff.
Yes,
and things.
I've got her information.
See what I know?
I done got all that info.
I should know you.
If
know
you
that.
do it again for Halloween, I'm having my little kid there dress up like something, and he's gonna win.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Fucking
We're going to do it every month.
Fucking
every month. So,
every month.
Yeah, so the next one will be at the end of September. Whatever our last episode in September will be, which will be the 26th of September will be our final episode of September. Which means that you
will be recording.
We'll be recording on the 22nd. So all your entries will need to be in by September 22nd, assuming we're not recording on a Monday, which gives you an extra day. But assume we're recording on the 22nd because that's usually what we do.
That sounds great.
So September 22nd. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Because we're taking that will be a break.
Oh.
Because that will be after the final episode. So there will be a break at that point in time.
So nothing next month then, the month after.
Well, September. So here's what we'll do. Here, you'll actually get a whole extra fucking week, I think. We'll give you for September the plan is that we'll be recording our recap episode on the 29th of September with it coming out on the 3rd of October. So we'll give you until September 29th to get your cosplay entries in for next month. That sounds reasonable?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds
wondrous.
carried.
All right, Bobby. Again,
Yes.
tell us where we can find you and your stuff and things.
Oh, I make JB's memes and stuff. I make memes. Me and it's a small town meme page. I'm just Bobby from it, and there's Jeff and Cody, and we have JB's memes and stuff. We're on Facebook at JB's memes and stuff. We're on Instagram I think it's at JB's memes and stuff, literally, and I think Twitter is JB's _memes, and YouTube is JB's videos.
Oh,
I actually have more fun making the videos than the meme itself. I learned like today that my one video has 43,000 views. And I was like, holy fuck! Like,
I actually had no idea that you had a YouTube channel. I'm gonna have to go find it now. Add a couple of views for you.
Yeah.
It's it's not just my it's not just because I don't just do Letterkenny stuff. I do all kinds of stuff. It seems like I do most of Letterkenny because it's just I just have the most fun with it, right?
Oh yeah.
But my YouTube, I post like quite a few like beer review videos, like with my girlfriend and stuff like that, and which we have fun with that. And I had made a video of Wayne. It was basically Wayne fighting D-Gens in the Super Soft Birthday Party episode. He fights Sled Ted.
Sled Ted, Rat Ass.
He fights Sled Ted, and then he fights Rat Ass as far as the D-Gens go. And I had made a video to the tune of Staying Alive. And that one, I was like, holy fuck, it's got 43,000 views. And last week it was 20,000. So I'm like, right on, that's really super cool. Like,
nice. Well, we'll have to link to it so you'll get a bunch more from us.
Definitely. And I have a fun fact to say about Sled Ted. Where I work in a personal care home. There is one of the nurses there. The guy that plays Sled Ted, that's her nephew. I had discovered.
Very
he's
cool.
He's a stunt man, and he just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think he's actually a stunt coordinator on the show as well, isn't he?
That could be. I'm not sure. Like on the details.
I think I remember looking that up.
I know I had done a poll once, and I on Instagram saying who would win in a scrap, Sled Ted or Rat Ass, like just for fun, and he commented saying, "Well, I played Sled Ted, so him," and then Rat Ass, or AKA Shitty Wolverine, ended up taking that scrap in the poll.
Shitty Wolverine.
I just do it for fun, just for fun, like shits and giggles. Like I'm not like trying to make money off it like that. It's
I think this is why we do that. I mean, any money we make pretty much goes right back into the show. About
it's a hobby, right?
Or
just bought a new
merch.
printer.
Yeah, buying a printer. Yeah, and
the one thing you guys didn't say was your talents. Do you guys have any talents? Because we were talking about talents for episode.
Well, I mean, singing.
Yeah. I've been singing in front of people since I was 3. I used to play instruments, but I no longer am able to because my fine motor skills have gone to shit. But I would say predominantly that's my only real talent. Well, teaching kids who really, really don't want to be in school. That's definitely a talent.
Well, that's not something you would do on stage, though.
No. I could do it for money with grown-ups, possibly.
Hey, now.
Like something... like Gaylor level?
She'll be the teacher.
I'll be your teacher.
I'll be your teacher,
Gail
buddy.
Gail meets fucking McMurray.
So
anyway,
singing. That's about it for me as well. So
you play guitar and bass.
Yeah, but I wouldn't play it in front of anybody anymore.
Yeah. You used to.
That's been a long time.
You do this shit. This is a talent. I can't fucking do all the stuff you do behind the scenes for this.
I could do this on stage. It would be really boring.
True story. True story.
Well, Wayne might find it enjoyable. Oh, okay.
I do believe that he would, yes.
Yes. So, anyway, Carly, congratulations. Bobby, thanks for joining us. I look forward to chatting with you online as we do all the time.
High fives all around, boys and girls.
And low bones and all that good shit. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast.
I hope we can do it again.
Oh, me too. Many, many more seasons to come, hopefully.
Oh, yes.
So
forever and ever, especially if we become the official one.
Jared,
okay,
your job is to keep us afloat.
All I got to say is that if there's a movie I call dibs, and a dibs is a dibs is a dibs. Okay.
and the movie should be called Give Yeast a Chance.
No.
Okay, you D-gens, take care now.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
If I play these simple chords for you, would you know they're stolen? 'Cause every line and note I have ever wrote was made before I was born. So what's a boy to do when his music's all been used? What's a boy to do but sing this is the anthem of unoriginality? I'm certain that I'm stealing most absolutely everything.
You've been listening to How Are You Now? And that's what we appreciate about you. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe and give us a nice review. If you don't, well, we appreciate you giving us a try. If you'd like to contact us, We can be reached at hosts@howareyounowpod.com. We're also on all of the important social media and have a website at howareyounowpod.com. This week's show music was from the White Coals. You can find them at whitecoals.bandcamp.com. The rest of their contact information can be found in our show notes. Also, don't forget our cosplay contest is continuing each month. Check out our website for rules and information. We'll see you D-Gens next time.
This is the anthem of unoriginality. I'm certain that I'm stealing most absolutely everything, from a quarter other half notes to the sound of my voice. It's obvious to everyone that we don't have a choice. People saying to me, you sound just like, maybe I sound like me. This is a voice in my throat, filled up to choke with mediocrity. So what's a boy to do when his music's all been used? What's a boy to do? Sing, this is the anthem of unoriginality. I'm certain that I'm stealing most absolutely everything, from a quarter other half notes to the sound of my voice. It's obvious to everyone that we don't have a choice. Unoriginality. I'm certain that I'm stealing most absolutely